that come from? No one's joined me on an adventure in ages. Come on, let's go! Benny's Adventure Team, assemble! Or not. Let's go find some treasure. Oh, ow! Where did that come from? Good things come to those who don't wait around. That's what they say, anyway. Knowing my luck, the opposite is probably true for me. Benny's Adventure Team, assemble! Or not. Oh, ow! Where did that come from? Oh, ow! Where did that come from? Benny's Adventure Team, assemble! Or not. Let's go find some treasure. Oh, ow! Where did that come from? No one's joined me on an adventure in ages. Come on, let's go! Oh, ow! Where did that come from? Let's ride!
We are gathered here today to bid farewell to all who lost their lives in this war. This struggle has caused us profound pain and brought us face to face with loneliness and loss. But through it all, our bravery and resolve never wavered, and we never lost sight of victory. Even the tiniest of sparks can unite to become a blazing fire. They lit our way forward and showed us the path to victory. When our homeland is revived and life blooms again, they will return to us with the first rain of spring. It is just as our poem describes. We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation. The fallen are never truly lost to us. We will be reunited one day. And as we create new legends and write new poems in honor of our beloved homeland, they will always be with us. Their deeds immortalized in our memory, and their names immortalized in stone. This epic will be remembered in the actions of every valiant warrior and brave Saurian, all equally important and indispensable. I would also like to take the time to recognize a Fatui Harbinger, who sacrificed his life for our cause. He was a warrior from Conria, who helped defend our nation 500 years ago. A man who used his own heart as refuge for the souls of the fallen. For the chance to offer them a final resting place, he chose to fight with us once again. In the end, he fulfilled his wish and returned the souls to the ley lines. By turning his curse into a weapon, he defeated his fated foe and protected me in the process. We have had our differences in the past, and I cannot say his character is representative of all in his organization. But on this occasion, we honor him as one of our own. In Natlan, all heroes are worthy of celebration. Instead of our hero's here. Is there something you want to discuss? The forces of the Abyss have always sought to corrode Teyvat. The ley lines were created by the Heavenly Principles, and it's only with their protection that Teyvat is able to nurture all forms of life. If the Abyss had free reign, this world would become a living hell. We saw that for ourselves. Any attempt by humanity to harness the power of the Abyss is met with swift punishment. The Heavenly Principles and the Shades show no mercy in that regard. That unyielding approach is also the source of great sorrow and hatred. The situation goes beyond a simple discussion of right versus wrong. Perhaps the truth will reveal itself during your future adventures. Oh, isn't it obvious? The Ode of Resurrection didn't take effect at all. Your own strength is what allowed you to keep fighting, as well as the moral support from everyone in Natlan. Still, Moral support is also an important, if underappreciated, effect of the Ode of Resurrection. The captain's subordinates sent us a letter he left behind. After our duel at the stadium, he asked Tsaritsa to remove him from the responsibility of obtaining the Gnosis, and his request was granted. The captain respected the outcome of that match and refused to violate his principles. But since this is the final Gnosis, I doubt that Tsaritsa will let the situation stand. Perhaps a replacement Harbinger will be sent here soon. I'll make sure to be prepared. A direct conflict with the Fatui is unavoidable the moment you step foot in Snezhnaya. So make sure you're ready for any scenario. On a related note, I've acquired some new intel about the fragment that suddenly appeared in the sky. Such fragments are known as Ancient Moon's remnants, relics of secret source technology from the era of the ancient dragons. Coincidentally, a small squad of Fatui infiltrated our borders around the same time it appeared. Our investigation revealed them to be the subordinates of the Doctor. Their stronghold is in Nod Krai, a land with a long history not far from Snezhnaya. The people there can use a very special power. It's said that this mysterious power predates even the 7 elements of Tevat. Ancient Moon's remnants, the Doctor, a mysterious power. The project that connects all 3 must be ambitious indeed. Huh? Tribe? Oh, you're thinking along the lines of how the names of the 6 heroes were inherited. In truth, apart from a few ancient names associated with a certain tribal culture or tradition, most ancient names can be inherited by anyone. Your name likely falls under that category. The Wyab will select someone who shares your character and name them as your successor. Of course, that won't happen for a very long time. The long journey of the Pyro Archon has now come to an end. Together, we overcame darkness and death to accomplish something truly remarkable. As we celebrate your glory, allow me to thank you once again. This time, just as Mavuika. Thank you for the respect, understanding, and support every step of the way. An honor we share. You can keep chatting with your friends nearby. I think I'll stay here for now, and watch over them. Ah, our hero's here. Is there something you want to discuss?
What are you thinking about, Traveler? Oh, the battle, right? Even though we won in the end, it cost a lot to get to this point, huh?
Story! Story! I want to hear a story!
Come on! Tell us! Tell us!
Well, you kids don't miss a beat, do you? All right. You can be the first audience for this new tale. Let me know what you think. Now, where to begin?
Want to stop and listen to the story? Sounds pretty fun!
This is a story of the great heroes of our time. There are 3 great heroes at the center of this tale. The first is an outlander known as the Traveler, a warrior of great strength, completely immune to the power of the abyss. More importantly, the Traveler is kind and brave, someone who treasures those around her. You could call her a natural-born hero.
Yeah, she's super strong! Tell us more!
Hey, just let him finish the story! The man telling the story keeps looking this way, Traveler. Paimon thinks he recognizes you.
The second hero is also an outlander. Many years ago, he forged a connection with this land and used his body as a vessel for the souls of his fallen comrades. His goal was to give them a home and, with that, a chance to be reborn into this world. The third hero is none other than our current Archon, Mavuika. Not only is she a powerful and respected figure, but she also commands the power of the Ode of Resurrection, which can bring people back from the dead. With the support of 6 heroes from 500 years ago, she united Natlan against a dangerous foe. Now, this story truly begins with the arrival of the Traveler in Natlan. Under her guidance, Kachina performed exceptionally well in the pilgrimage and earned her chance at the Night Warden Wars. Suddenly, the sky turned dark, the sacred flame went out, and Gasoithoth appeared. Everyone gathered at the stadium and sang the Ode of Resurrection together to send their support to the furthest corner of the Night Kingdom. Hermione became known by all, and everyone began reciting the words that defined its message. In the beginning, there was darkness, until someone set themselves aflame. Only then did the universe know light. Anyway, the dust has now settled, and Natlan has entered a new era of peace. The Traveler fought for life, the Captain fought for death, and our Archon, Mavuika, created a bridge between them.
Wow! Is there more? Please don't let that be the end!
Sounds like you like this one. Tell you what, give me some time and I'll write it all out in even greater detail.
I loved it! This is the best story ever!
Yeah, and Tumaini is the coolest ancient name. I get to be Tumaini today, okay guys?
Hey, it's supposed to be my turn! No, it's my turn!
No, it's my turn! I get to be Hermione today! So, no one wants to be the Pyro Archon anymore?
Sounds fun! What do you say, Traveler? Wanna let Paimon be Hermione for the day? Alrighty then! Let's go, Paimon! A new adventure awaits!
Many insects have a compulsion to follow the light, and humans are the same. Except we call that light hope. Burn it down!
Born of ice and frost. Ha! Teamwork is strength!
Clouds high. The birds
Rise with the sun!
Incinerate!
wind strike.
Let's light it up!
Access denied.
Everybody stand!
Pyroclastic surge! Incinerate!
Into the wind.
Let's ride!
Fallen leaves.
Born of ice and frost. This is long overdue.
Light of the blazing sun! Burn it down!
Wind strike.
I'm going in! Huh?
No touching.
Pyroclastic surge!
Chevras, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. You'll excuse me if I skip the pleasantries. Is there a case?
Access denied. Come on! Right! Oh!
As one with wind and cloud. Wind strike.
Everybody stand back!
Try and stop me!
No touching!
Wrath from the sky! Incinerate! Incinerate! Rev the engines!
Teamwork is trick!
The wind knows me. Clouds hide. The birds come.
For Rex Lapis! Born of ice!
Burn it down!
So we're going to do the Mavuika build guide. Think about you need to know to get started with it because talents, last priority is the normal attack, the elemental skill, and the elemental burst are the first priorities. C0 free to play by the way. Weapon, so get a lot of options. Red Horn is good, especially with the artifact set, but you want the best for your Pyro Archon. So I'm saving up for the what's called that? That's her signature weapon. I forgot the name of her signature weapon. Serpent Spine is good, especially if you have a shielder on. I have a D-Look on my main account. He's like C5 now, I believe. Back then, I just R5 Serpent Spine. Years I couldn't get D-Look WGS. Got D-Look skin, but last year I got WGS D-Look. But it's not that strong compared to like other characters. Just recently released, so I'm not using that account anymore. This is my new account. It's like my first account that I went back to the main Mavuika, but it's female D-Look right now. Okay, so this one is faster, good for action teams. So that's about it. This one might be no energy. You don't need energy recharge. This one can be for free to play. If you want to go hardcore. Alright, so you need the latest artifact. So I have it pre-farmed. I'm busy with Tekken 8, so Obsidian Codex is the artifact set for her. So got 15% damage bonus. Then insane crit rate, 40%. Wow. So she will be very easy to build. So you just need to pump up the crit damage. Oh, you got the insane damage boost there. With a gift of flaming flowers. So after our blessing, everybody is percent. When it is used, the current active party member to lose another buff for herself. So she can buff herself or be an off-field buffer. So off-field or her skill is off-field pyro like Raiden, or she can you double tap it and you ride the bike. Elemental burst. She does a Hoyoverse style animation and then she rides the bike. But first dealing 680% damage. Some constellations, so yeah, let's check out the constellations. Oh, 40%. Oh my god. So I was going to pull for Sitlali if I ever have remaining gems, but I'm pulling for Mavuika's weapon right now and she gains another 40%. Oh, I need to wait for her rerun then. Another 6 months when I should have just, saved up for her instead of like using like maybe so much gems like on Scaramouche. What a useless fool. So much gems. Wasting so much gems on his constellations. I think I put for or in his weapon. Whatever. Another increased by 200 base attack. And a defense red. So bye-bye, Diluc. Charge attacks and their success lies from the 60. What does it mean? I'm not sure about the respectively. Normal attacks increase 60%, elemental burst increase 90%, charge attacks increase 90%, and their burst increase 120% over attack. Wow. Well, I gotta wait for 6 months. But the problem is I need to full for Farina and her weapon. So this will be like maybe another 2-year project, a 1-year project to C6, like I did with Ito, and to get Goro C6 as well. Enhance the effects of passive damage. Additional 10% bonus damage. What did you just buff after buff? Maybe like over 500% damage buff. Another damage increase again. All fire armaments receive prevents ring of seeing radiance when the ring hit bonus. A flame strider will crash into the struck opponent. What? So there will be like a motorcycle bombardment, dealing 20% hit attack as Night Soul Knight, AoE Paradigm. Flame Strider. Oh, that's the passive off-field skill. It will be a Flame Strider bombardment. Flame Strider, when Mavuika is riding the Flame Strider, she will also summon a Scorching Ring of Searing Radiance to follow her. Oh, she will have a passive ring off-field while she's on-field, which will decrease their nearby opponent's defense by 20. Another, and do 500% nice. Wow, this is like 100,000% damage increase with C6. Mavuika Centering will be also 14 proof. Additionally, when Mavuika is riding her Flame Strider in combat, when her Night Soul point out to 50, she will gain 18 to 5, she will gain 80 Nights of Power. So okay, so time to play Genshin all day until the rerun. Okay, so let's just make free-to-play build for now. So the stats wise, so you might be looking for this kind of stats. I think this is already fine. Let's say you have her weapon, which is crit rate. So yeah. And then I think your crit rate will be so much now, maybe over 100 because of the artifact sets. So maybe you'll have to look for other artifact sets later that I don't need that much crit rate. Damage, crit, damage. Crit rate. Well, I have too much crit rate now. If I use the weapon, the Mavuika's signature weapon, it's already the crit rate here, so. So crit rate will be over 120 obsidian. So I'm not a fan of obsidian. I don't need another 40% increase in crit rate. So maybe I'll just get 2 pieces of obsidian in the two pieces of this. and then another 2-piece attack. So I have to look into that, but that's over the crit rate. But if your weapon is red horn, I think that's perfect.
Rise with the sun!
One with nature.
Everybody stand back!
So you might wanna
The blazing sun!
do a rotation like this, and that's without Kazuha first.
Incinerate!
Wind strike.
Let's light it up!
So let's do another one with the Kazuha first. The universe. So
I'm going in! No touching! Glaze over!
Fallen leaves.
Adorn! Burn it down!
so ito ata Mavuika first fight na, but it's already insane on it. With it, so finishing strike. Final blast. Alright, so that's so broken. And I haven't built these guys optimally, except for Kazuha. So she's a half-field damage dealer. So I might have to rework my Ganji build. For support. So for team comps, so you can go with these kinds of team comps. So it's either Ganyu for Xingqiu, so third slot for the action. But I think the most optimal build team comp for me it would be Zillion on the third slot, and then Farina here.
All right. After you.
So also we already get buff from Zillion and Kazuha, and we get buff and vaporize from Zillion. Could be Sitlali, but we don't have enough resources. I can't see the future. So from now on, after I build my desired team comps on this account, I will just keep playing Genshin and keep farming until I get hundreds and thousands worth of gems. And then when the Cryo Archon comes out, I will C6 him or her. So not a fan of Bennett here, but I have no choice at the moment. Don't have Farina, not prepared. So at least I was prepared to get a Zillion. Luckily, I pulled Zillion here. So I'm not a fan of Xingqiu, but if that's like Farina here, or you can do Naoto Team Comp. That's a Farina here.
This ought to be entertaining.
You can have Bennett on the other team.
It is as the stars foretold.
So, because the other team, my other team needs Bennett. My Navia team, Navia Shangling Zhongli. Team needs Bennett. So yeah, I tried a different character, Via, but not that cool compared to like if I just saved all that gems for Mavuika instead of also pulling for uh, Novia's heart to weapon. So much gems I wasted. So that's it. So anything I want to add? So I don't want to make this video long. If you want to add more things, I'll add it in the comments, out of the description. So yeah, see you later. Good luck. So leave a comment what you guys think. And yeah, let's talk about it. And subscribe to my other channel, link on the description for the pinned comment. Have a great day. Take care.
right.
Hello there, Okay. Probably doesn't understand what we're saying. Doesn't look like any cogs are turning in there. Whoops! Sorry! No offense intended!
You there! You dare disrespect our elder? Oh, you mean... Oh, I see, I see. Sorry, my mistake. Apparently you are here by invitation, in which case it's my job to make you feel welcome. Some introductions are in order. I am Kaholam, one of the priests of our tribe. And this is our Iktomisor elder, the great Tlapokpok Teets Tatel, a living totem among the masters of the Night Wind.
Whoa, that's quite a tongue twister.
In truth, we usually go with Elder Tlapo for short. You're welcome to do the same. Ah, I assume you're referring to our Elder's special ability. Elder Tlapo has been alive for many centuries and harbors secrets that even we priests are at a loss to explain. So your reaction is entirely natural. But one thing I can say for sure is that Elder Tlapo has appointed the two of you to an extremely important task. For this reason, I would like to ask you to undergo a test.
What sort of task? And what kind of test?
If it's all right with you, I'll take you to see our chief. He's in a much better position to answer your questions.
Okay, sure.
Very well. Then please follow me. You can use this scroll to go directly to the obsidian altar, where the chief is. Don't worry, it's just one of the many mystical abilities of our tribe.
Whoa, what was that just now?
One of the routine duties of a priest. We attempt to contact the spirits of our ancestors to seek epiphanies and revelations. The chief is just over there. Please wait here while I have a word with him. I'll just be a moment.
Well, the Masters of the Night Wind are definitely living up to their reputation as the mysterious ones.
All right, I've told the chief why we're here, and now you may speak with him. Right this way.
So, you two are the appointed ones. I am Chief Biram. Welcome. And thank you for your patience.
So tall.
Unusually so. Yes, I am aware. But I assure you, it's no cause for alarm.
Oh, no, of course not. Sorry, Paimon just reacted without thinking.
Ah, yes. Caholam told me about that. As outsiders to our tribe, this is probably the first you've heard of such appointments. I'm sure the whole thing seems very confusing. Throughout our history, only members of the Masters of the Nightwind have been appointed to undertake these tasks. This is the first time an outsider has ever been chosen.
Really?
Allow me to explain. Our tribe has an old tradition of recording history in the form of woven scrolls. And not just our own history. We record the legends and heroic feats of all other tribes as well. It is a tradition we have observed for many centuries. We treat it as a solemn duty. However, when a major event occurs that affects all of Natlan, we record it on a different kind of scroll, used for this exact purpose. And these scrolls can only be woven by someone of the Iktomisor Elder's choosing. When the Iktomisor Elder senses a major change in the ley lines, it will issue a formal declaration to appoint a creator for this scroll.
Whoa, so you mean...
Elder Tlapo sensed a ley line change quite some time ago, but had not yet designated the scroll weavers until you arrived.
Okay, but just so you're aware, we don't know the first thing about weaving scrolls.
As a matter of fact, that does not surprise me at all.
How come?
In the 200 years that Elder Tlapo has held this position, none of the appointed ones have ever been experienced scroll weavers.
Does that mean 200 years of major historical events have gone unrecorded?
No. They all submitted scrolls in time, yet each of them claimed it was not their own work, but a gift from the spirits.
Man, this tribe gets more mysterious by the second.
Yes, well, that is the part that troubles me. The notion that we have to rely on esoteric things like gifts from the spirits to record historical events of such great importance. It is unsettling.
Huh. That's pretty surprising to hear, coming from the chief of this tribe.
I can imagine. You probably see the Masters of the Nightwind as a people shrouded in mystery, who pride ourselves on our arcane practices. But I am something of an exception. I may be the chief, but when it comes to our traditions, I am in fact a proponent of change and reform. I have dedicated my energies to deciphering the many mysteries of our tribe. In doing so, I hope to establish clearer rules that will help sustain our traditions in the future.
Wow, that sounds great! So have you figured out the mystery of the gift from the spirits?
Sadly not. It is something I've been investigating for a long time, but I have yet to uncover what this gift truly refers to. Only a small handful of events over the years have been recorded on these special scrolls, with decades between each one. And by the time the next scroll weaver is appointed, my time as chief will be long gone. I will not be in a position to investigate as thoroughly.
So...
While I haven't gotten to the bottom of the matter, I have made some progress. Precisely. It's nothing to be worried about. Simply a means of validating my current hypothesis. It shouldn't take you long, nor will it put you in any danger. I can explain everything in detail when we get to the site of the test. But first, please wait a moment while I change out of the soul-shielding cloak. This garb is one of our important cultural relics, handed down by generations of chiefs. It is only to be worn when conducting certain ceremonies.
Oh!
Please, follow me. Do you see this scroll? If you touch it, you will enter a hidden space. Today's test is, quite simply, to find a way to escape that space.
That's it?
I assure you, it's not as easy as it sounds. If you cannot find your own way out, I will of course intervene to bring you back here. But then, we will be no closer to solving this mystery. Good. Simply touch the scroll to begin the test.
Whoa, we really did get teleported. It seems like this place is completely sealed off. Doesn't look like there's an exit anywhere. Let's take a look around and see what we can find. There are so many woven scrolls here. Paimon remembers seeing some of them before in other tribes. They seem to record historical events. This one really stands out from the rest. For starters, it's the biggest of them all. Wonder what story it tells. Yeah, you're right. Over there, something just flashed. Traveler, did you catch that? Oh, right. Paimon's with you. Aha! There is something hiding here! Yep, this looks like our ticket out of this place. We finally made it out!
It is just as I thought. Yes. You saw many distinctive-looking scrolls there, didn't you?
Sure did.
This specific kind of scroll was left to us by our ancestors. Upon investigation, I discovered what sets it apart is the use of a color not featured in ordinary scrolls. It is a most mysterious color that most people cannot even detect. I myself had to employ special techniques to confirm its existence. Yet there are those who are born with a natural ability to perceive it. And that is why I wanted to test you.
You mean...
That space you just entered was an exhibition room for storing this variety of woven scrolls. Centuries ago, a great shaman by the name of Huitzilin put in place a security measure so that anyone who entered the room without permission will become trapped inside. It exists to this day. And although I have not managed to decipher how it works, I have at least found out how to turn it on and off. Once someone is trapped inside, it is all but impossible for them to escape without outside help. Unless they share the great shaman's ability to perceive that strange color. Clearly, you must have this ability, which leads me to believe that our Iktomisor Elder can sense this ability in people, and that it appoints a scroll weaver on this basis.
Another secret power? Traveler, you are full of mysteries. Still, having this ability doesn't change the fact that neither of us know where to start with weaving a scroll.
Don't worry about that. The method for weaving this kind of scroll appears to be largely the same as for an ordinary scroll. The main difference is in the dye that gives it its unique color. If my suspicions are correct, this dye is the key to weaving the scroll, and your special ability is the key to obtaining it. The dyeing process is also a little different from the norm, but I don't anticipate any major issues there. As long as you two can source the dye itself, I can assist with the application.
Cool! We'll follow your lead!
Great! Then please use your abilities to source the necessary ingredients. And in the meantime, I will have someone prepare some fabric for test dyeing. We'll make a few sample pieces to test out my hypothesis. And if that goes well, we can begin the scroll in earnest. If you agree to help, you can expect to be handsomely rewarded once this is all over. So, what are your thoughts?
Agreed, especially if there's a reward in it. What is the reward, by the way? Is it food? Paimon hopes it's food.
Given the stakes involved for our tribe, I was thinking a substantial sum of mora would be appropriate. Surely that would be preferable to just a free meal.
Mora works too! Anyway, how do we go about finding these ingredients? Are we supposed to just keep walking around Natlan until we stumble across them?
Thankfully not. I've already identified a location where I suspect they may be found. And I've arranged for someone to guide you there. Your guide is waiting just outside. You can set off at your leisure.
I take it you're the ones appointed by Elder Talapo?
Yep, and you are...
Call me Toltec. The chief asked me to be your guide for the day. His messengers already filled me in on the situation, so just follow me.
So the dye is somewhere in this cave, huh?
This is as far as I can take you. Only the appointed ones may proceed from here.
Why's that?
Kind of a long story. Apparently, there's a certain fruit that grows in this cave, the juice of which can be processed to make an excellent dye. Many years ago, our ancestors set out to make a series of ambitious works of graffiti art. They selected this cave to make them in, presumably due to the availability of the dye. However, they didn't want anyone to see their work before it was completed, and so they sealed off the entrance to control access. To bypass the seal, you have to have mastered the art of color perception, or something like that.
Oh, right.
The strange thing is, our ancestors never removed the seal, even after they finished the graffiti art. Since it was sealed off, the only person who's been inside is the great shaman, Huitzilin, and that was 300 years ago. According to her, the artwork tells the story of a hero by the name of Kuntur. But I digress. Sorry, I'm a big fan of graffiti artwork. Once I get talking, I can go on for hours.
So you're sure you don't want to come with us?
I'll pass. I tried to get in once, but the seal blocked my way. I tried getting my Iktomi to clear it with its powers, but even that didn't work. I guess it's supposed to be a test left there by our ancestors. If you don't pass the test, you're not worthy of viewing their works of art.
Aww.
Don't worry about me, though. I wouldn't be joining you this time even if I was able to get in. Unlike our chief, I don't have the guts to challenge our traditions. This task is specifically appointed to someone by the Iktomi Elder. Who knows what bad things might happen if I got involved?
Fair enough. All right, we'll try not to take too long.
Full throttle! Something to add to my collection.
Looks like there's no way past. Maybe try the same thing as before? Hey, it worked! Let's head in and take a look. This should be the place. That fruit Toltec mentioned should be the one on the wall, right? Now the only question is, which ones do we pick? Go ahead, try it out!
Knows me.
Rise with the sun! Let's rock!
You saw something, right? Whatever it was, grab it! These guys' ancestors made some real works of art here. But basically, oh, no need. Paimon was just thinking aloud. Toltek's waiting for us, and we have a job to do. So maybe it's best if we head out now. Let's head back and meet up with Toltek.
Light it up! Rev the engines! All right.
We're back, and we found the ingredients for the dye.
Sounds like you made it through the seal then. Our Iktomi Elder was right about you. It's getting late. Follow me. I'll take us back.
Toltec has updated me on your progress. Well done. I appreciate your efforts.
Sure thing! Here's the stuff for the dye.
I see. Yes. This is certainly a very different substance from typical dyes. Okay, now let's try our hand at making some samples. The fabric is ready for testing.
Got it!
Please come with me. Take a look at this. It's a woven scroll made by one of our ancestors. This is the kind of thing we're trying to make.
Ooh!
The person depicted is the legendary shaman, Huitzilin. She lived 200 years ago and was once appointed by the Iktomi Elder, like yourselves. She was especially skilled in the art of color manipulation, and of course completed her task with flying colors. This scroll is a record of her deeds, and was most likely the work of her own hand. The quality is simply breathtaking, even compared to other scrolls of this variety. Sadly, since she passed away, all of our Iktomi Elder's subsequent appointees have had to rely on the gift from the spirits to complete their work. That's a good way of putting it. My only quibble with your phrasing would be, it's not just me, but us.
Now Paimon's getting excited.
Bring out the samples. Now, as I mentioned, the dyeing process is a little complicated, but I am confident you will manage. Just make sure to follow my instructions carefully. The pattern has already been sketched out on the sample, so you just need to dye each block with the correct color. But you'll need to wait for the dye to fully soak in between each step to make sure the colors don't run. Ha ha ha! Good! The dye has taken to the fabric, and the pattern is crisp and clear. Next, apply all the remaining dye, and we should see that elusive signature color emerge.
Okay, final step. Did it work? Paimon doesn't see it.
Oh, that color isn't showing up. Oh, the dyeing has failed. No, your technique was flawless. You did everything exactly as instructed. It would have made no difference if I'd done it myself.
Then what went wrong?
It could be the weaving technique. Or maybe the dye has to be applied in a different way. Oh, whatever the case. It looks like I have failed to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Sorry, Paimon wishes we could do more to help.
I am the one who should be apologizing. I made you do so much work, and it was for nothing. I will, of course, honor my commitment to compensate you for your trouble, but I do hope you won't give up on this task. I plan to keep investigating, and will be sure to keep you updated with any progress.
Don't worry, we're not quitters. Paimon does have a question, though. This whole process of recording history on woven scrolls seems so complicated. Why don't you just write it down instead? You said yourself you're all about change and reform. Well, this seems like a pretty good place to start, don't you think? Writing things down would be easier for everyone, and your records would be more detailed.
I think you've perhaps misunderstood my philosophy, but that's okay. I can answer your question, but there's somewhere I need to show you first.
Oh, sure.
Cool. Look at this view. What do you think?
It's gorgeous!
Now, try looking a little further.
Whoa, that graffiti!
In all the years since the founding of our tribe, those colors have been with us every step of the way. It is true that I seek to bring new life to this ancient tribe through change and reform. But I also understand there are certain foundational things that we cannot afford to throw away. The foremost of these is the way we record our history.
Oh, that makes sense.
Since the very beginnings, our tribe has always sought to bring color to history. And I have a deep sense that this is one part of our heritage that we should not give up. So, whatever it takes, I must find a way for us to continue producing our traditional woven scrolls.
You're completely right. Paimon's sorry for what she said earlier. It was out of line.
It's quite all right. I'm just grateful you're able... Then let us hope that when we next meet, we succeed in reviving this tradition.
That's a little concerning. Let's go over there and see what they're up to. Also, how did they get this close to a tribal settlement? Huh. All the Fatui left in Natlan are probably the captain's subordinates. That basically makes them followers of one of Natlan's heroes. Still, once a Fatus, always a Fatus. Something seems off seeing them here. Let's go check it out. What are you guys doing here?
Following orders. If you have a problem, take it up with our employer.
Hey, what's with the attitude? Can the Fatui even work for a private employer?
This is Grudok. I hired him to be my bodyguard in Natlan. As you can see, he's not the sociable type. I'm sorry for any offense. My original plan was to hire someone from the local tribes, but a priest recommended Grudok and his squad. I was told they were capable fighters and had the time to spare, so they fit the bill. It seems like the Fatui's reputation in Natlan is quite positive.
So that's what happened. Then you must be from Fontaine?
Precisely! Montluçon, at your service. I work in the publication business. And you two... Wait. You must be the traveler and her fairy companion.
Oh, you know us?
A golden-haired traveler with a floating companion. There's no mistake. Your exploits in Fontaine have all the makings of a best-selling series. I'd be a failure of a book merchant if I couldn't recognize you.
Wow, we're really famous at this point, traveler.
It's truly my lucky day. I know this is sudden, but I was actually looking for you two. You see, I have a favor to ask.
So, you chased us all the way to Natlan? That's a little creepy.
You'll be generously rewarded, I promise you.
Well, at least he got straight to the point. Should we hear what he has to say? All right, we'll hear your request.
You know the great shaman Sitlali, right? I need her help with something.
Yeah, but the chances of her helping a random stranger just because we asked? Yeah, Sitlali really doesn't like dealing with strangers.
I heard about that from other members of her tribe. But they told me if one person could convince her, it would be the golden-haired traveler. If you manage it, I'll even double your pay.
Oh yeah, we should definitely get to the bottom of that first.
It's kind of a long story, and there's tribal history involved, so you should hear it from an expert. Alie, if you could.
Of course. I don't often have an eager audience for this kind of thing. Nice to meet you. The name's Alie. I'm a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute. Unlike most researchers, I have a keen interest in ancient ruins. That's why I was invited to join Monsieur Montluçon's team. Have you heard of the legend of the great shaman Huitzilin? Yes, according to local records, she was a color mystic who lived over 200 years ago, and the most adept in her tribe at using that particular technique. Out of all of her exploits, her most celebrated is the Battle of Seven Colors. According to legend, the battle was triggered by an abyss invasion, one of the most brutal in Natlan's history, even from a greater historical perspective. Amazingly, Natlan was able to turn the tide despite being at an extreme disadvantage. The key to victory was none other than a color Huitzilin created on the battlefield. The color was extraordinary, illusory in appearance while also seeming to possess physical form. Legend has it that Huitzilin used the color to construct a magnificent maze on the battlefield and trap all the enemies inside. This allowed her allies to launch a counterattack and ultimately secure victory.
Anyway, that's the gist of it. We don't want to take up too much of your time. That story is the reason I came to Natlin. I often publish books about the history of other nations. They always end up faring well on the market. When I heard this story for the first time, I wanted to include it in my next collection, but historical records about Natlin aren't very detailed. We haven't been able to determine where the battle took place, or find any definitive evidence that it occurred at all. Even within the Masters of the Nightwind, people dispute the legitimacy of the story. Some believe it to be a myth. If that were the case, the story would not be fit for publication.
But if you're just including it in a story collection, why does it matter if it never happened?
Well, you see, the slogan for the collection is Restoring the Truth of History. Naturally, I need it to be factual. That's why I'm here. The Masters of the Nightwind are said to have a tradition of recording past events, so I wanted to consult their records. But I was refused access to the Obsidian Altar. Application after application, and all I received were a few ordinary woven scrolls with nothing to offer. Honestly, I'm just trying to promote their history, and they make such a fuss.
According to my research, their scrolls are considered sacred relics in addition to historical records. Naturally, outsiders are rarely granted access. Not to mention, the scrolls we did get to review actually contain a huge amount of information. I just need more time, and I could...
We've been over this, Alier. There's no need to waste time on those scrolls when we have a better way.
Citlali, you mean?
Exactly. You're well aware, I'm sure, that Citlali has been alive for more than 200 years. That means she lived during the era of the Battle of Seven Colors. If she agrees to be my consultant, then no other historical records are necessary.
Oh, that's what you want.
So, what do you say? I'll quadruple the pay if it helps sweeten the deal.
Well, it's not that we don't want to help you. Oh, right! The duty the chief gave us has a lot to do with Huitzilin. Who knows? The Battle of Seven Colors might lead us in the right direction. All right, we'll help you convince Citlali. Just let us do the talking, okay?
Of course.
Finally got here, and now I can even
Don't
find the
worry,
recipient.
I'm sure they'll show up soon.
Are they?
Let's ride! Full throttle!
So, this is where the great shaman lives? A bit far from civilization, isn't it? I hope the person who pointed us in this direction wasn't mistaken.
For someone like Citlali, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Is this graffiti her work too? I wonder if it's a cultural practice. If I could just copy it down,
We're here for a reason, Alier. As agreed, you two can do the talking, and we'll wait for you here.
Okay, we'll go knock on the door. Hopefully she's not hungover. Sitlawi? Are you there? We need your help with something! Oh, no response. Maybe she's not home. Oh, Granny Eatsley? Are you home?
Hey, kid! If you're here to challenge me, book an appointment first. Traveler!
Looks like we came at a bad time.
Are you still there? Just come in. We can talk inside.
Well, at least we didn't get turned away. So this is where Sitlawi lives.
I, didn't have time to fully clean up the place. Complain if you want. Menial housework means nothing to a great shaman like myself. Besides, in light novels, people who keep everything neat and tidy are always too boring to be the protagonists. Also, I'm not a hermit. I'm just above superficial rules of societal etiquette.
She sure does care a lot about what we think of her.
Oh, and that spell I used to transfer my senses to you? You're not still, experiencing the side effects, are you? It's my duty as a great shaman to check that kind of thing.
Oh, you mean when we could hear your thoughts? Nope. It's been so long, we don't have to worry about that anymore, right?
Then why do I hear the traveler's thoughts in my head?
What?
I can still hear you, you know. Don't bother. I'll find a way to fix it. First you hear my thoughts, now I'm hearing your thoughts. It was just a simple spell. I use it on you, and now it's on the fritz. Forget it. Just tell me why you're here.
Well, someone asked us to ask you to be their consultant. They have questions about the history of Natlan.
So they asked the hero of Natlan to put in a good word? Sounds like they know I don't usually trouble myself with other people's problems.
The pay is really good.
Doesn't matter. I'm busy.
She sure doesn't look busy. Paimon knew this wouldn't get us anywhere.
From you?
Yeah, we were given a sacred duty to help your tribe weave a special scroll.
Huh? So, you're the appointed ones this time?
We were surprised too! After all, we have no idea how to weave a scroll like that. But with Chef Biram's help, we were able to make some progress. We still haven't succeeded, but we learned that the key to weaving the scroll is a special kind of color. The historical event those men want to ask about also involves color. If you help them, you might end up helping us too. She's giving us that face again. Did Paimon not explain things clearly?
I can't decide whether this twist is completely out of the blue or if it was foreshadowed all along.
Does that mean you won't help us?
I need to think about it.
Then there's still hope.
Hey, what's the holdup? Just give us an answer already.
You agreed to let us do the talking! See, Lolly?
Stand down, Grudok. As your employer, if I tell you to wait, then you wait.
Understood.
You're the great shaman who's been alive for centuries? But you're so... Apologies for the disturbance. Grudok is a recent hire, so difficult to restrain sometimes.
You're lucky you didn't force Sweet Lolly's hand.
Well, since you're here, how about a discussion?
Do you have any idea who I am? Did you think Granny Eatsley would be fooled by your little performance?
I
have no intention of speaking to you. Your recent hire interrupted me right as I was about to make an important decision. Pull a trick like that again, and I'll make your lives a living horror novel, except 10 times worse. That's all I came out here to say.
Whoa.
Traveler, we have a discussion to finish.
You live up to your name, Granny Itztli. I apologize for the offense. I'm just surprised the Battle of Seven Colors didn't pique your interest.
You're investigating the Battle of Seven Colors?
Ah, the Traveler didn't get to that part? Yes, I thought the Traveler could help me convince you. But, if I'm not mistaken, you have a personal interest in this matter, don't you? I heard that the great shaman Huitzilin was a friend of yours. You two must have been close. If I can resolve the controversy and prove the battle took place, I'll include it in my next collection. Then, all of Teyvat will learn the truth. With your support, your friend's heroic deeds will once again be known throughout the land. Inspiring, don't you think?
If this is really about that duty, then... fine. I'll help you.
I'm honored.
Save it. I agreed to help the Traveler, not you. You'll just have to leech what you can.
Well, at least she agreed to help.
Who are you calling heartless?
Not a problem. I always planned to work with the Traveler. So, did you directly experience any events of the battle? Do you have any idea where it took place? Can you think of any relics we could use to prove it?
Talk at me, why don't you? Fine. No, no, and no. I did live during the same era as her, but that doesn't mean we experienced the same events. I've lived a long time, but I'm not a walking encyclopedia. You decide the angle of your investigation, and I'll provide answers if I'm familiar with the subject.
All right. Even if you didn't witness the battle yourself, you still lived through that era. Your insights are very valuable. Alier, you had an idea about where to start, yes?
Oh, well, my plan was to consult the members of the tribe in charge of recording history.
Then, let's start there. Traveler, what do you say to officially working together? After all, it appears I can only get Miss Sitlali's help through you.
Why wouldn't Huitziling tell you about it?
Close friends? More like arch rivals. Something Montluçon would know if he actually did his research. Did you see the graffiti outside my house? That's not my doing. All students from Huitziling's School of Shamanism must pass an extremely difficult trial before graduation, defeating me in battle. Those graffiti drawings are how they challenge me. Of course, none of them ever succeeded. So, after Huitziling's death, her students had no choice but to modify the requirement. And as my rival, Huitziling only had one achievement that surpassed my own. And that was the Battle of Seven Colors. I can only assume she had some kind of secret technique at her disposal. It makes perfect sense that she kept it from me. I'm a fast learner. Telling me about the technique is no different than handing it to me on a silver platter. As if she would give away her one advantage.
Oh, that makes sense.
Anyway, all of that is secondary. Like I said, I'm only here to help you fulfill your duty. Don't misunderstand. This duty is important for my tribe, too. A great shaman should do her part to see it done. Excuse you? I fail to see what housekeeping has to do with my duty as a shaman. Why is it that you're the one whose thoughts are exposed, but I'm still the one suffering? I need to get to the bottom of this.
Excuse me, great shaman, but we have a situation over here. We could really use your help.
Okay.
Of course the Battle of Seven Colors happened. The woven scroll proves it. Huitziling used a mysterious color to construct a maze and trap the enemies inside.
That's just your interpretation. There's more than one way to understand that scroll. Besides, constructing a maze out of color is ridiculous.
Huitziling was one of the most powerful shamans of her time. She definitely could have pulled it off.
That's the biggest problem. She had students. Why not pass it down? A technique that powerful? And no shaman since has ever used it?
Her students are keeping it a secret, of course. If you knew a technique like that, you'd be a fool to show it to just anyone.
Oh, I didn't mean to cause an argument. I just wanted to ask, is there anything we can use to prove the battle took place?
Of course it took place. Why would you need to prove it?
Yo, have to excuse him. Some people in our tribe insist on clinging to outdated views of history. I'd give up now if I were you. It only gets more ridiculous from here.
Please don't fight.
Wow, so the battle really is controversial.
Am I the outdated one? Kids these days can't find anything better to argue about?
These arguments are precisely why I hesitate to include this story in my collection. Neither side was able to offer anything useful. What should we do?
Wheatsealing was a passionate teacher. We were opposites in that sense. The technique she used in the battle must have been her masterpiece. There's every reason to pass it on. Still, if the technique is powerful enough to single-handedly stop an invasion, it also makes sense that her disciples would keep it a secret. We should check with the students from her school. If we can confirm the technique exists, we can deduce certain things about the battle.
But as far as I know, most of the shamans from her school occupy high positions in the tribe. Not the type of people outsiders like us can speak to on a whim.
Right. The obsidian altar is off limits to you. But, if I go...
Is there a problem?
Most of Wheatsealing's students are respected priests in the tribe. But that means they had to go through me. Or try, at least. I, of course, humiliated them from a young age. Those who hold the position now are the ones who lasted long enough before I wiped the floor with them. If I show up without warning, they'll run for dear life. That's not gonna get us any answers.
Yeah, Paimon can see it now.
Hey, don't jump to conclusions. That was just a metaphor. Only you have the guts to joke like that with me, Traveler. Fine, I said I'd help, so I'll help. But don't blame me if it goes wrong.
Alright, the rest of you can wait for us here.
We appreciate the help.
Oh, are you in the middle of a ceremony?
Granny Eatsley?
What is she doing here?
Did some coward not show up after challenging her to a fight?
Or is she here to officially take over the tribe?
Whoa. It's like they really do see her as some kind of tyrant.
No matter what, we'll defend our dignity as priests to the end.
Ugh, you talk a big game for someone who lost to me the most out of the entire priesthood.
What?
All I want is to ask some questions.
So, you're here to interrogate us?
Someone didn't sit pretty for their beating? Is that it? You want their name, don't you?
We should just run!
Yeah, with the hero of Natlan here, Granny Eatstily will be on her best behavior.
Sure, whatever you say.
Oh, it's the Traveler and her companion! That does make me feel better. How can we help you?
We want to ask about the technique you inherited from Huitziling.
Huh. So you can eradicate our school once and for all?
Disciples of our school have challenged her year after year, just as our master instructed. Sounds like she's finally had enough.
Well, you're not wrong.
If we want to protect our legacy, one of us needs to run!
Not this again. Just how much did you traumatize them, Sweet Lally?
Hey! You can't just say whatever you want just because it's in your head. I'm Granny Eatsley. A mere mention of my name and kids burst into tears. Love and respect? Huh, no one has the guts for that. What? You know what? Forget about your duty. We really need to fix this mind-reading situation.
Sorry to disappoint, but if you're here to question whether we're qualified to inherit our master's legacy, we're not going down without a fight.
We're not getting anywhere. What should we do, Traveler?
Huh? Oh, it's you.
Elder Tlapo! Oh, we must have disturbed your meditation. Our deepest apologies. Please forgive us.
Did Elder Tlapo just issue a declaration?
From what I can tell, in a single word, the message was... friend?
Is Elder Tlapo telling us to treat Granny Eatsley as a friend?
That's not possible, is it?
Oh, you forget yourselves, my friends. You are esteemed priests of our tribe. Where are your manners?
But Chief!
I didn't expect to see you here, great shaman. My sincere apologies for the lack of hospitality.
Well, I wasn't exactly planning to come to this crowded place. So you can save the pleasantries, Chief. I'd rather get this over with.
Understood. Now, as successors of Huitziling, I understand your friction with Granny Eatsley. However, Elder Tlapo's declarations have always showed us the correct path. You would do well to respect his counsel. So, mind your manners and allow Granny Eatsley to ask her questions.
Good thing Elder Tlapo and Chief Biram are on our side. seems pretty happy to see us.
He's the one who put you in charge of the scroll, right?
Yeah, Elder Tlapo appointed us to the task.
Elder Tlapo, huh? He's still Claw to me. Hey, don't pull that cutesy stuff with me. You're an Iktomisaur Elder now. You occupy an eminent and important position within the tribe.
So, you already know each other?
Claw was only this big when we first met. He was with Celine's Saurian companion back then. She kept dragging him to my place, so over time, we got to know each other. She only came to my place to fight me. But at the same time, she always claimed to be my friend. She was the only one who dared to try, at least.
Well, you've lived a long time. You've probably made a bunch of friends over the years, right?
The more time you have, the more friends you lose.
Oh,
Anyway, let's get back to business. I hate talking about the past. 200 years and you still haven't given up, Claw? I still haven't made up my mind, so you should head back. Traveler, Paimon, let's go.
Hey there, Chief Biram! Oh, wait. We haven't reached out since the last time we failed the task, huh?
I'm just grateful you haven't forgotten that duty.
Actually, we have good news! We found another clue!
I'm all ears.
It's the Battle of Seven Colors.
Huitziline's claim to fame? That sounds promising. But the battle took place hundreds of years ago. An investigation is bound to be difficult.
True, but Granny Eatsterly promised to help.
Is that so? Huh. I've tried seeking her help in the past, but I never managed to coax her out. You should cherish this opportunity.
Hey, don't complain! None of the previous chiefs succeeded either.
Forgive me. That wasn't my intention. It was a comment on my own failings.
Paimon said you've been trying to figure out how to weave the special scroll.
It is my duty, Great Shaman.
Why bother? The scrolls always end up completed on time. So what's the point of figuring it out for yourself?
If I may, this task concerns the history of Natlan as a whole. And in many ways, history is the memory of a people. Memory is sacred to our tribe. I'm sure a great shaman understands that better than a humble junior like myself. Something this important cannot be left to baseless rumors. I know you don't concern yourself with the daily affairs of the tribe, Granny Eatsterly. Even so, as a priestess, I trust you wouldn't leave something like that to chance.
I get your point. Of course, the one time I wish you could read my mind, it doesn't work. No, that's not it!
Huh?
It's not important. Rest assured, Biram, with my help, the Traveler and Paimon will definitely be able to complete the task.
You have my thanks, then.
Instead of confining themselves to the heavens, God should broaden their horizons in the world below. Rise with the sun!
Huh. So are you here to test whether we're qualified to inherit Master Wheatselian's legacy?
You've already been tested, haven't you? Well, frankly speaking, I don't think any of you are qualified. But that's not why I'm here. All you need to do is be good and answer my questions.
Fine. Ask away.
You've heard of the Battle of Seven Colors, right?
Of course. It's our master's claim to fame. An immortal legend inscribed in the very history of our tribe.
Then I'm sure you know there are those who question whether it actually occurred.
I did hear people arguing about that the other day.
It's disgraceful. How can they question something like that?
It doesn't surprise me. Natlan has had more tourism lately. A lot of people have started getting strange ideas after interacting with Outlanders. After all, everyone who took part in the battle has returned to the ley lines. Without witnesses, it's hard to refute detractors.
Well, it just so happens the questions I want to ask are directly related to the legitimacy of this battle.
Listen, we know you are rivals, but do you really have to question her legacy?
You think she's like you? Someone who can't survive a little scrutiny?
No, of course not.
Then let me finish. During the battle, Wheatsealing most likely used a technique powerful enough to turn the tides of war. I'm sure she was very proud of it. Proud enough to pass it on to her disciples. So, which one of you inherited that technique?
I don't think any of us have heard of it.
Listen, I'm not trying to take it for myself, so be honest. With or without it, I can wipe the floor with any of you.
Yeah, no objections there. But I'm telling the truth. None of us have ever heard of that technique.
What's wrong with her? Why would she let it go extinct?
Master's body of work is massive. No one student could hope to learn all her techniques. Mastering just a few already takes a lot of effort. Master had no choice but to recruit many students, split up what she knew into different portions, and pass it down through various individuals. So even though we see ourselves as representatives of Wheatsealing's school of shamanism, what we know isn't the sum of her legacy. Actually, I know of a shaman family that inherited some of Master's techniques. The family fell on hard times and lost the right to the priesthood. Still could be worth a shot.
But if they inherited Wheatsealing's secret technique, shouldn't the family be thriving?
Well, it's the only thing I can think of.
All right, give me their address.
I'll mark it out on your map.
To be honest, I'm not optimistic about the future of this investigation. That's because the request came from you. You don't know the power of your own words, do you?
Proving the legitimacy of this battle seems more hopeless by the second.
Nothing we can do about that.
Well, even if our investigation ultimately proves the legend to be false, that's still a worthwhile result. Although I'm here for business purposes, I have a personal interest in this as well. I'm drawn to matters of historical truth.
That's exactly why I chose to follow you, Monsieur Montluçon.
Listen, I'm just updating you on the situation, not asking for your opinion. I don't really care whether you continue your investigation. Traveler, you came to me for help with your scroll weaving duty, right? You thought looking into the Battle of Seven Colors could give you answers. That's understandable. But based on our progress, I'd say this is a dead end. Instead of wasting time, you might consider taking a different approach. I'll try to think of another way to help you.
Respected traveler, let's not forget about the compensation I promised. You shall have it in full. Extra, if that's what it takes.
What makes you say that?
Yeah, based on what you've told us so far, it kinda seems like there's unresolved tension between you two.
You think so?
She claimed to be your friend, but picked fights with you non-stop, and never told you about her biggest accomplishment. By figuring out the truth behind the battle, maybe we can finally help you get closure.
Closure? I'd say we're 200 years too late. But fine, if you want to keep investigating, be my guest.
Ah, that's wonderful news.
Alright, let's go visit the Shaman family!
Exploration and trials. Adventuring is right up my alley.
Gotta pick a good date.
Many insects have a compulsion to follow the light, and humans are the same. Except we call that light hope.
Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date. Gotta pick the right location. Gotta pick a good date.
Hello, are you Asia Man?
Yep, that's me. Huh? Granny Eatsley?
Get up! In a crowded market like this, the only person who should be trying to hide is me.
My apologies. Ever since my grandfather's generation, the shamans of my family have given up on passing your trial, Granny Eatsley. Have we offended you in some other capacity?
Man, this is generational trauma at this point.
Whenever I misbehaved as a kid, Grandpa would tell me about the thrashing he received from Granny Eatsley. I still get nightmares about it sometimes.
Hey, don't get any funny ideas. This was your idea, remember? Keep asking your questions. I'm going to find somewhere quiet to wait.
Okay, so your family studied under Wheat Ceiling, right?
Yes, although that pretty much ended with my grandfather's generation, unfortunately. The techniques my family learned from Huitzilian didn't have much practical use in terms of tribal affairs, so during my grandfather's time, we quit the priesthood. Turns out, shaman techniques aren't that useful outside the priesthood either. So over time, we abandoned them altogether. Of course, it's possible that we were just too foolish to understand the true power of those teachings. After all, Huitzilian was a genius. None of her students have been able to fully reproduce her talent.
Do you know which techniques were passed on to your family?
I'm not sure. As a kid, I remember hearing my grandfather talk about them, but it's not like I can use them myself.
Just think about it for a sec. Do you remember anything about a technique that can decide the outcome of a battle?
Decide the outcome of a battle? No, I don't remember anything like that. Besides, my family wasn't really known for our talent. If a technique like that exists, I doubt Huitzilian would pass it on to us. You might have better luck asking one of the priests. They're descendants of Huitzilian's most gifted students.
Well, looks like we're back where we started.
Still no definitive evidence the Battle of Seven Colors took place. Alier, do you think we have enough to draw a conclusion?
All we have are non-witness accounts. We could put together an interview, but that's not going to hold up in academic circles.
Then we have to keep going.
Oh, you're investigating the Battle of Seven Colors?
Yeah, you know about it?
Not a lot, but there's something special about my family. In addition to shaman techniques, Huitzilian stories were passed down to us as well. Say what you want about my ancestors' dedication to shamanism, but they definitely paid attention to those stories. And of course, the Battle of Seven Colors is the most exciting story of them all.
We don't need another story. We need something concrete. Does no one in your tribe understand that?
I'm not sure if this is helpful, but the story passed down in my family is a little different from the one told in the tribe.
Really?
Well, it's Huitzilian's personal account of the event, so it's a lot more detailed. For example, in the version I heard, the battle took place in a location known as Chico Mostuk Cave.
That means you can tell us where to find it. Have you ever been to this place?
Unfortunately not.
I studied maps of Natlan before we left, Monsieur Montluçon. I don't remember ever seeing such a name.
Could your ancestors be mistaken, Mr. Eshemin?
It's unlikely. My family may have let the shamanism side of things fall by the wayside, but we're serious about these stories. In the words of my grandfather, some things deserve to be passed down more than secret arts.
If Huitzilian's version of events differs so much from the general understanding, that makes it even more likely the battle is completely made up.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Oh, hold on. You mentioned the Chico Mostuk cave?
Oh, yes? Can I clear something up for you?
It's been more than 200 years. Huh. I never thought I'd hear that name again.
What do you mean?
That location is now known as the Valley of Fog. The Chico Mostuk cave is what it was called 200 years ago.
Precisely when Huitzilian was alive. That means, Monsieur Montluçon, we can confirm the original site of the battle. Once we get there, the evidence we need should be at our fingertips.
Just when we thought all hope was lost. I never doubted you, great shaman. Allow me to present you with a gift as thanks.
Save it. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me.
Wait, Mr. Montluçon, works in publishing. You're a huge fan of light novels, right, Sweet Lolly? Maybe he could get you some that are out of print.
Really?
Out of print, huh? Sure. Do you have any in mind?
Well, if we're talking collectibles, then the first edition of Shogun Almighty reborn as Raiden with unlimited power is a must. It's the first major hit of the isekai genre. Several editions have gone to print, but copies of the first edition are exceedingly rare and valuable.
I see.
There's also its sister work, Pretty Please Kitsune Guji. It was Yae Publishing House's attempt at gauging the new market trends. It's opened the door to a new genre after readers grew tired of isekais. The sales speak for themselves. Actually, Yae Publishing House released a limited edition not too long ago, but it's almost impossible to get. Anyway, I'll take those two.
Sorry, I'm not sure I caught all that. What were the titles again? Reborn as Kitsune Guji?
These two titles are among the most successful and well-known works in the entire industry. You're telling me, as someone who works in publishing, you've never heard of them?
I'm a merchant from Fontaine, after all. Regarding this particular genre from Inazuma, I'm afraid I lack your level of expertise.
Amateur.
Of course. Sounds like a perfect arrangement. Now, there's no time to waste. We should head to the site of the battle right away.
Once we get there, it'll take a bit more work to determine the actual location. Right now, all we have is a general idea.
Well, I'm sure Miss Sitlali can help us with that.
Have you even looked at the time? It's already evening, and I have important plans tonight. You expect me to work through the night?
Well, what do you think, Traveler? Okay, we'll find a place to rest for the night. When should we meet tomorrow?
He's persistent, huh?
How about noon?
Do we have to wait that long?
Great shamans have important matters to attend to in the morning. That's only because I have important tasks to complete at night.
All right, as Miss Sitlali instructed. Let's meet back up tomorrow at noon. We'll be waiting at the exit of the tribal settlement.
Sorry. I just wanted to ask, is Granny Eatsley satisfied with my answer?
Yeah, of course. You really helped us out.
Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't offend her somehow.
You're really that scared of her?
To be honest, Granny Eatsley almost never interacts with ordinary tribespeople like us. Everything we know about her comes from rumors. She's a powerful shaman who's lived for over 200 years. As a great hero, you're probably the only one who isn't intimidated by her.
Well, thanks for today, Sweet Lolly.
That's quite considerate of you. All right, let's grab a few drinks. Just like last time.
Wait, didn't you say you had important plans tonight?
What did you think I meant?
Does that mean you've gone drinking every night for the past 200 years? Now Paimon's worried about your health.
No, I've had enough socializing for one day. I know somewhere quiet. We can just buy some drinks and head over. which will also give us a chance to solve the mind reading issue. Considering the necessary spell work, I'd rather do it in private.
Burn it down! All right.
Is this the place?
No, further up.
Further up? Whoa, this is like a secret base!
Sometimes I want the fresh air, but not the company. So I come here. Let's see if my stash is still here. Ah, great! The halberd crest birds didn't eat my snacks. Now for the mind reading issue. Give me your hand. It might take a little longer, actually. I just need to share my senses, make a clean break. And that should do it, right? You're not wrong. Hold on! Why do I still hear you in my head? Oh, did I not separate our senses completely? Maybe using my palm isn't enough? Close your eyes. Oh, please work, please work. A great shaman should be able to handle this. Okay, what about now? Huh? And now? Huh. Whenever I try to remove the effect, it just flips direction and gets worse. That was just to help with the spell. Ah, shoot. I still hear you. For a human soul, to lose the boundaries of the mind is to drown in the sea of consciousness without a concept of self.
Wait, that sounds bad!
I read that in a light novel. When it comes to the real world, I think it's pretty accurate.
Is Sweet Lolly drunk? She's not making much sense.
Anyway, we'll just have to leave it for now.
Hearing the Traveler's thoughts isn't that bad, right? You should just tease her. That's what Paimon would do.
It's just... I'm not good at this. I'm not used to being close to people. sorry. I said we could be friends, but I guess I'm not ready. I'm used to being Granny Eatsley. Someone intimidating, someone people are scared to approach. I don't have to deal with people that way.
Yeah, Paimon's been wondering. Why do you insist on living so far?
When you live as long as me, a person is like a flower. The color draws you in. You water it to see it bloom. It rewards you with its fragrance, but it doesn't last. With the passing of the seasons, everything withers away. You can try to water it, but it will never bloom again. Even if the same plot of soil is covered in flowers the following year, the one you remember won't be there. That's just how it is. Most of the people in my life will be gone one day, just like a flower. Getting close means losing friend after friend for hundreds of years, until the weight of their memories crushes my soul. If people don't care about me, then I don't have to care about them. It's better if the people in my memories are nothing more than fleeting strangers.
Sweet Lolly.
You won't live as long as me, so you don't have to worry about that. Really? Then you should understand. Nearly everyone you know will be gone one day. Traveler?
Is something wrong?
Stupid mind-reading side effect won't go away. It's not like I want to hear you complain about me all the time.
Okay, she's definitely drunk. See, Lolly, maybe take it easy? At this rate, you might sleep past noon tomorrow.
I'm not drunk. I remember everything the Traveler said. Just gotta think of a response. I'll think of something.
Uh-oh, not this again. Is she asleep?
I'm fine. Can get home by myself.
Is she talking in her sleep or talking to us? She seems kind of out of it.
Bye. Gonna walk back alone. Need some time to think.
This should be the place we decided to meet yesterday. Who knows if Sweet Lolly will show up on time. She drank so much last night, she might not even be up yet.
Ahem.
Sweet Lolly!
No need to sound so surprised. Drinking is just a way to pass the time. I mastered the art of moderation long ago. Last night doesn't count. It was a minor slip-up, that's all. Anyway, I gave everything a lot of thought, and I think you're right about something. The Battle of Seven Colors holds the key to a lot of the answers I've been searching for.
So that's why you're here so early.
Traveler, great shaman. Sorry to keep you waiting. Shall we head out?
Just follow me. I'll confirm the location myself.
Of course.
The flames have gone out.
The flame burns on.
This should be it.
So the battlefield is inside this place.
That could explain a lot of our academic questions.
Don't lose focus. Once we get to the actual site of the battle, all the evidence needed for publication will be at our fingertips.
Everyone ready?